Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So I have something very important to talk to you guys about today. The GOA, through a FOIA request, which is a Freedom of Information Act request, found out that the ATF has a registry, a searchable database with your name on it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. This video is sponsored by Acre Gold, which in my opinion is the best way to get into gold. This is how I got into gold, because we all know that gold is very expensive. So the upfront cost to get into gold can be quite a bit. Acre Gold lets you buy gold incrementally. Acre Gold has 4 different subscription plans: a new $30 plan for a 1-gram bar, a $50 plan, a $100 plan, and a $250 plan for a 10-gram bar. When your gold stash adds up, so each month that you pay for your subscription, it adds up. Once you get enough money for a 2.5 gram bar on the $50 plan, they ship you out a physical 2.5 gram bar of gold. Now, they also have that $100 subscription plan, which gets you into a 5 gram gold bar. Now, if you don't feel like storing gold on site is an option for you, Acre Gold also has a way to buy digital gold so that they'll keep the gold safe for you. And I suggest that you go over to their website, which I'm going to link down below, and check it out for yourself and figure out which one is going to be the best option for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So if you didn't know, when an FFL would close, they would still have to maintain their records for 20 years. So they had to maintain record of sales and stuff like that. They had to keep it on hand, so if that a law enforcement agency wanted to search through them, they could come and they could do that to find out whatever information they were looking for. Well, when those businesses closed and kept them for 20 years, after 20 years, they could go ahead and they could destroy them. Well, a new rule had changed that, and it made it basically so that an FFL, once it closed, had to keep those records indefinitely. And the GOA found out that the ATF had taken 50 million records from closed FFLs and were digitizing those records and basically making those records searchable. Well, that was again back in 2021. Now we find out that the ATF now has close to 1 billion records digitized in a searchable database. So nearly 1 billion sales records that are searchable on a centralized database that not only the ATF but other agencies can look through as well. This is not just from closed FFLs. These are from other sources as well. Basically, the ATF is taking all of these, purchase records, they're digitizing them, uploading them to this, one single location, and have essentially created a registry. Now, they're denying that they created a registry, but through that FOIA request that was, again, submitted by the GOA, we have found out otherwise. It is absolutely a registry. Now, the ATF says it's not a registry because we can't search people by name. They said if we go in, we can't search people by name. We have to search through other means in order to find the records that we're looking for. But again, through the FOIA request, the GOA found out that that's only because the ATF has that specific search feature turned off. Or at least they say that they have that search feature turned off. So it's not that they don't have the ability to do so. It's just that they're saying, well, you have to trust us. We're not using that feature. We have it, but, we're not going to use it. Trust the government. Now, with over 1 billion records digitized and available in that format, you can almost guarantee that your name and my name and just about everybody else's information is going to be on there. So again, we're talking about a government agency that has shown its ability to overreach its boundaries on multiple occasions for multiple reasons. And this one agency now has all of your information. They know where everybody is, they know what everybody has, they have all that information at their fingertips, and this is something that cannot stand, obviously, right? I mean, number one, it's illegal for them to have a registry to begin with, so there was a bill that was created, and this bill was submitted actually years ago, didn't go anywhere, so this new bill has been resubmitted. So the bill that I'm talking about that was just reintroduced is by a Republican out of the state of Texas named Michael Cloud. This bill, in its short form name, is basically the No Registry Act. It has a longer title as well. But as you would gather from the name of this act, it looks to stop them from doing what they're doing, which is creating a registry. Now, they're refusing to call it a registry. Obviously, this agency doesn't want to call it a registry because they know that if that was the case, that they wouldn't be allowed to maintain it, right? So they're saying that it's not a registry because they don't have the ability to search the names. This act right here would stop that altogether anyway. We're talking about massive data collection on millions upon tens of millions of Americans here. So, and you could tell how many transactions there are because, again, we're talking about tens of millions of Americans, where we're talking about nearly 1 billion transaction records that are kept on this digital database. So I don't think people really understand the gravity of the situation here and why a database like this is so dangerous, right? And there's a reason why they're not allowed to have something like this. Think about it, okay? They have something that will tell you how many people have a specific thing in a specific area. They can go all the way down to the county level or the city level, and they could say, okay, these people have this particular item in this city or in this state or whatever, and they can break it down by whatever category they feel like searching up. And so they'll be able to tell exactly who has what and where those people are located. That right there is bad enough. I mean, you know, you always want to keep them out of your business to begin with, right? But when they start putting stuff like this in a central searchable database, there's several things that can go wrong. One, that information could get out. So you could end up having people who weren't supposed to see it in the first place having the ability to see it, right? The other thing is, if something becomes, all of a sudden they decide to make a new rule, and under this new rule something else falls under the NFA, but they just have to search it up and they can see exactly who within a certain area owns one or owned one at one point. Regardless, they can go ahead and they can search that up. And again, do you really trust them if they say, well, we're not using the feature that allows us to search by name? I mean, from what I understand, that's just a simple switch that they can turn off and on, right? The field is not usable and they change it to make the field usable, put in the name, and you're done. So again, saying that they have that feature but it's turned off doesn't really provide me any comfort whatsoever. So hopefully this act goes through. Obviously, well, I guess not obviously, but I think it would go through the House. What would happen to it in the Senate, though? I really don't know. And then whether or not it would get actually signed into law, I highly doubt that, because we're talking about somebody who's not really a friend of ours. This is something that you need to reach out to your representative about, regardless of who they are, regardless of the letter next to their name, regardless of what you know their point of view is. This is different. You need to reach out and you need to talk to them and you need to tell them, hey, I don't want there to be a database with any of my information on it. I don't want the government to have anything that's searchable on me. If you want to go search for the records and go find the paperwork, that's different. You know, do your cop work, right? Do the footwork, but having it all centralized like that absolutely needs to stop. So anyway, I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. I think it's a very important topic and a very serious situation. So, you know, good job for the GOA actually finding all of that information, which is now making its way around, you know, bigger news sources as well. It's actually becoming a bigger story, but it needs to be talked about more as well wherever we can. So again, thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.